Hey everyone, this is Cardfight bringing you another standard match. Today we do have a couple of decks that I have not yet featured yet on this channel. Sorry for the angle, it's just a little bit weird. I was kind of in a rush when I was recording this. But anyways, getting into the match itself, on the left we do have Hexaorb, playing of course the new Hexaorb, which unfortunately I don't think we're actually going to get a chance to see during this fight, because on the right is myself playing the updated Herminia list. So I am still playing around with some of the cards and ratios and deciding what's going to be working best. One of the new cards you can see is that new Cycle card, which basically for this deck is another card to get cards out of the soul, because the grade 1 skill is actually completely fucking terrible and I never want to use it. But anyways, we are seeing myself go into the typical Herminia things. I think I said before in the deck profile that Herminia is very much a Nova Grappler-esque style deck, where you are kind of just calling everything out, rushing your opponent down, and basically just blowing through your resources as quickly as possible. And of course you do actually need to blow through your resources in order to do anything in the deck. I find right now the biggest problem with Herminia is that you have soul issues, where you have issues getting rid of all of your soul, and that is the biggest problem with the deck currently. So we are seeing a little bit of a counter rush, I suppose, calling down a grade 1 and a grade 2, swinging at the Vanguard. I do actually manage to get 2 defensive triggers, and it doesn't really matter. As long as I got one, I would have been able to guard with that 15k, because a lot of the cards in Herminia are just combo pieces, as we are seeing here. One of the main advantages to the powerful engine is the fact that you get a free ride outside of your first ride. So as long as you're able to actually empty out that soul, you will always be able to ride for free. So we are using the skill of the Nala, popping out the grade 1, mostly not really there to make a column, although it is a pretty decent column. It is an 18k column. It is mainly there just to be a way to get rid of cards out of the soul. Honestly, I feel like Nala, as good of a card as she is, once we get more cards and better cards, she is probably one of the few things that are going to be getting cut. So we are going to be swinging at the Vanguard, hitting into another critical trigger here, giving the crit to the Vanguard and the power to that Drive Girl. I'm sorry, I don't remember any of their names, but I do remember Signy's name, who is a very good card. She's going to be boosting this column for 28, still hitting over that defensive thanks to that trigger that we got. And we are actually going to opt to use the Signy skill, which is when it boosts and you have a powerful, and you are in powerful, you can counterblast 1 and give another thing 5k until the end of the turn. So we're going to be giving it to that Nala so that she is able to hit with that boost from the grade 1 in to hit the Vanguard over that defensive trigger. So already Hexaorb is at 5, and we've only got 3 cards left in hand. So honestly, the powerful engine is kind of just doing what it's supposed to do. We're just aggro rush and just beating them down as quickly as possible. I mean, at this point, it's really looking like I'm going to be able to finish things out next turn. We do actually see the old Hexaorb being played in the Ride deck, which I don't really think is that great. I mean, yeah, you have another copy of Persona Ride, but I think just being on the new Hexaorb and being able to actually do something on your first grade 3 turn, whereas here we're not going to really see too much being done here. We are seeing the grade 1 skill to counterblast 1, check top 2, and I think you just arrange them in any order, swinging the Hexaorb and then probably using that grade 2 skill again, or not, because we are going to be hitting into a front trigger, giving the front row plus 10k. Hexaorb is going to give another 10k to that rear guard, and that rear guard itself gets another 5k when you check a trigger. Once again, we're going to see the same thing happening. A critical trigger, crit to the Vanguard, power to that unit, Hexaorb giving another 10k and another 5k. So this next column is going to be swinging for 68 already, but it doesn't really matter to me because I kind of want this damage, because in order to use that drive check girl, we do actually need to counterblast. So without any cards in the soul, we are going to be able to ride for free, and thankfully, thanks to that girl, we are going to be able to soul blast 1 and give our Vanguard another 5k, which serves as double utility, getting the cards out of our soul in order to enable our powerful abilities, and giving our Vanguard an extra 5k makes it so that we're hitting that 18 or 28 very nice magic number. So we are going to be swinging. We do have 3 spare counterblasts, so we are going to have to use it. Signy is going to give Nala another 5k boost, and then she is going to give herself a 10k boost with a counterblast of 2, making this a drive check. unit. So we're just going to be swinging at the Vanguard for a nice 28. We do get our 1 drive check with only 3 cards left in our opponent's hands, and the fact that our attacks are just going to be scaling bigger and bigger, and we do have 4 attacks this turn. It's really looking like there isn't a chance for Hexaorb to actually endure this first grade 3 turn from Herminia. So it looks like we are going to no guard it and just do the drive check. Of course, we are going to drive checking into nothing, but of course that last damage is not going to be a heal. Even though we did have 15k and 20k in hand against 4 attacks, it doesn't really matter. So that's going to be the end of the game. I hope you guys enjoy. Quite a bit of a short one for you. Don't forget to do all those YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.